Allie's our little girl. She's 6 years old. She has cerebral palsy, and she's a quadriplegic. But she wasn't born that way. Allie is a victim of shaken baby syndrome. Allie is my daughter's daughter. My daughter was 19, and she wanted to try and be a mom with Allie's father.
Allie was abused for 4 months, and at 10 months old, she was shaken to the point where she lost consciousness. Allie's
dad just broke and said that he had been beating her.
She was in a coma for 10 days, and when she did wake up, they diagnosed her with cerebral palsy. So she can't eat, she can't feed herself, she can't walk, she can't do a lot of things that normal children could do.
When Charity moved out of the house, took Allie out of the house, our son at the time was 18, and I had just turned 40. My wife was almost 40. So we knew that having an empty nest at a relatively young age, that we were going to be in a position to do something really incredible at the second half of our lives.
Yeah, we didn't know it was going to be raising our granddaughter who had disabilities and needed 24/7 care. We have to get her dressed, we have to feed her, we have to bathe her. She cannot do anything on her own except lay on the floor and play with her toys.
Before this happened, I thought I was doing everything right as a Christian. I was saying the right things, I was doing the right things, and to be rewarded with this situation, it rocked me. It turned my world upside down. And I felt that this was not the proper reward for living a good Christian life. I had got to the point where I just didn't think I could do this. And I had verbalized that to Susan one time, and she just said, well, if you're gonna leave, leave now so I can figure out how I'm gonna do this. In my mind, Romans 12 flashed into my brain, and it was like, I'm a living sacrifice, and unless I totally gave my life away, there was no way that this was gonna work. And once I crossed over and that became real in my life, it changed everything. So now I've gotten a different perspective of what's important and what really matters to God and what being a Christian man is.
I used to just think of, God as God in a little box. This is what he does. It was almost like a little religious thing I had going. It's like saying prayer for your food. You just do it so often, it becomes this religious thing. And going through all this, I think the lid came off the box. And I don't feel like I'm in that religious mode anymore. It's more of a relationship with him now. At first, church was very difficult.
Church was a luxury at first. I know, are we allowed to say that? I'm on staff at a church, but...
That's a luxury.
Parents like us are scared to death to turn our kids over to people we don't know.
We decided to go back to Calvary Chapel, Fort Lauderdale, because they had King's kids. And I think it was the first time in 3.5 years that we were actually able to sit in church together.
It was like a date.
It was.
The volunteers connected with her, and she connected with the volunteers, and this has been 3 years ago, and we have an amazing relationship with a lot of the same volunteers that have been with her, 3 years later.
Are you sure this is what you want?
She's the center of our universe. We can't imagine life without her. We knew a long time ago that our lives are going to be divided in half. One with our children, and one doing some kind of amazing service to God. And we thought it was going to be on the mission field. God brought us Allie. And I think we're better Christians because he did.